Joining us this morning for our final topic, our chief legal analyst, Khalif Rhodes. Khalif, I had 2 of my 4 daughters over the last 5-6 years. They were involved in this. No criminal activity, thankfully, and they had like bright orange water guns, but this was serious. They were getting off work sometimes 10, 11 at night. Yep. Their friends, senior friends, would track them down in parking lots, scare them to death. They'd be in our bushes on our private property. Like, there was a lot of boundaries I felt like were being crossed in this. I mean, I know you're laughing at it because it is, quote, a game. I am. But there's some serious lines being blurred here.
I'm laughing because my children obviously involved in these type of games as well. I have a senior this year, so these are the types of games that children will play. I'd echo what the officer said. Ensuring that you're using the right type of toy gun probably is the first step. And so I pulled the statute 15 U.S.C. 5001. It's illegal to manufacture, enter into commerce, ship, transport, or receive any toy, look-alike, or imitation firearm unless the firearm contains or has affixed to it an approved marking. And that approved marking is normally that orange type of barrel that's sticking on the top. And then a toy look-alike, a water gun, would fall under it. And so if these kids are getting access to guns and they don't have those markings, obviously there'd be some liability potentially towards the manufacturer or the person that sold it. If they're painting it, that's a whole nother story. In terms of the blurred lines, obviously property owners, they have an ability to bring claims for trespass to an individual. There'd be some criminal charges that you could potentially bring by assault in North Carolina if a gun is pointed at you and you reasonably believe that it is an actual gun. You could go down that route, but it ultimately begins with awareness of the kids, allowing them to know what they're doing and the potential harm and danger that they could put themselves in.
And we saw that there was a school lockdown in this situation. So when there are false threats phoned in, those are some serious charges. Could there be something similar here for if there is a gun that is a water gun that looks like a real gun on your school property?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, if it's communicating threats, you have to explicitly make a threat. And so if someone's calling in a threat, that would be misuse of 911 system. But in terms of these dangers that are connected to these senior pranks, most recently in Georgia, there was a senior prank. Group of kids went to the teacher's house. The teacher was aware of the prank, kind of how you mentioned, Jason. They tracking them down, so the teacher was trying to surprise the pranksters, stayed behind the car and try to throw toilet paper on them, slipped and fell. They ran them over. Ultimately, all those kids were charged. One charged with homicide. The wife actually decided to say, look, we don't want to ruin these kids' life, drop the charges. But these types of pranks where things go wrong can happen, but making sure that you're aware that lives could be lost in the instance when you're trying to play a prank.
Khalif, in the worst possible scenario, say somebody is trespassing on property, the parents aren't aware of this game, and they see somebody holding what looks like to be a gun out there. If they're a firearm owner, is there an area where they would be protected if they think they're protecting their home?
100%. I mean, and we've had that happen before in the past where in our state, obviously, you have a castle doctrine, so you're able to protect your property or the chattel, that's the property around your home. And so what I would say is that if you're in imminent fear of bodily harm, it has to be justified. Now, if it's a super soaker type of gun that's bright orange, I don't believe you'd be in a situation where you could feel like a reasonable person would believe that's a real firearm.
But in the dark.
But being that bright orange typically is even going to show in the dark. Now, if you're going one with these or painted, whole other scenario. And that's where I think that it would be case by case. But then you'd also want to be that homeowner not having to second guess. Am I shooting a person with a fake gun or a real gun? And do I want to live with the consequences later? Or am I going to be alive to live with those consequences? Those are the things that you're doing in that split second. That's why I go back to awareness and education to recognize, at least letting the kids know that, hey, make sure you have the proper type of guns, not an all-black painted one that looks like a real firearm, because you could end up getting shot, and which would be terrible.
All right, Khalif, thank you very much.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.